Hi everybody, this is March Let's Play 2025, and the colors for this month are going to be green and orange. And this is the fabric that inspired that. It's an old little blouse that had a stain on it, so I took it apart and I just love this. It wasn't my blouse, it was from a used shop. Back in the day, I used to sell used clothes for a while. Anyway, so this is what inspired the colors this month. And like other months, I've pulled out some fabrics to go play with, possibly play with. And some of them have special meaning to me, like this one. I made that into a prairie dress when I was pregnant for my oldest son. I look back at the pictures now going, whoa. Actually, the picture's here. I pulled it out recently because of my second mom. There it is. Look at me way back then. And that's the dress. All right. Sorry, enough down memory lane. So yes, I haven't quite finished digging out greens, but I've got a good collection going anyway, so I probably maybe don't even need to. I dug into my trims and my buttons, and I've got all of those. A good amount of different things to play with. Doesn't mean I'm going to use them all. And when I was digging into them, this little grouping here was a lot of fun to find. And I have a bit of a story about it. Way back when I first started quilting, I used to do pictorial houses, and my second or third house quilt that I made was called the Painted Lady. I'm going to show it here. Okay, when I was setting that background up and the house up, I had plain green fabric for the trees. When I did my pictorial quilts, there really wasn't a lot of fabrics that had leaves or like that could be made into looking like trees or bricks or that kind of thing. It was solids. And anyway, so my trees had been this dark green, and it was hanging on the wall, and I didn't like it, and I didn't like it, and I didn't know what to do about it. And then sticking out of a top drawer where I had laces was this lace. And this light bulb moment came on, and I went, if I put this green lace over that solid green fabric, this could have an effect of leaves on a tree. And if you pause when you see the picture of it, you'll see so that was fun. And then the reason this collection with it is not long before I started making the pictorial quilts. And I used to love going to garage sales and collect things. So that's a lot of where some of my trims and things have come from. And I had gotten lucky one Saturday. I thought it was lucky. I got this really big basket that was all these kind of trims. You've seen me use them a few times already, and in a whole range of colors. Not all kinds of oranges and not all kinds of pinks, but a good collection of colors. And this particular trim in a light green, I use in that quilt a lot. I cut it there. So when I pulled this out today and I saw all of this, it made me realize that some of this embellishing that I'm doing unique embellishing using trims and things really started for me back then. I just hadn't thought about it, and I haven't done those kind of quilts since way back when. I have a story about that, but that's another time. All right, back to this month's colors. So the orange and green, and then ahead of this video I already started to play a little bit, and I think this is going to be I don't know if that's fully on camera or not. not completely. I think this is going to be the arrangement. There's this green down here of my background pieces. So when I come back in a few minutes, I'll have it cut out and basted down so you can see it. And I think this is going to be, it might be my background. I know in the garage there's a bucket of fabrics that have green and orange to them, so I want to see what's in that bucket first before I decide. But otherwise it'll be this. And I, like last month, I really like this piece, this strip right there, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish off one of my edges with a piece like that too. All right, back soon. Okay, I got a sunny day, which means I got to do some pressing, and then I basted my background patches, and this is it. I'm really pleased with this. I'll just share a few things that aren't important, but maybe you find interesting. I chose this almost brick looking fabric because this is silly, but I've always loved the idea of a brick wall in an English garden. I live in a forest. I don't have that, but a girl can dream. I guess you could put up a brick wall in a forest. And then juxtapositioning that to, I've had this fabric for a good 15 years at least, and it always reminds me of the forest. So I live in a forest, and here's my English garden wall. I do have a plan for this. Stay tuned. I will share that next week or the week after. I'm not 100% sure. Next week, I'm supposed to be doing the stitching of all the seams, so it'll probably be the week after, but we'll see. I do have some early thoughts I thought I'd share with you, so let's see. I do want to use this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to go here. Again, nothing I'm saying at the moment is going to be set in stone or anything. I did get to the garage, and amazingly, I only found, it's a full bucket, well, not tight full, but it was a full bucket of greens and oranges to mix together in a fabric, and some yellow ones too. And I only found 3 fabrics to use out of all of those because they were different kinds of greens and different kinds of oranges. And the one I'm basing this one on is kind of the dark green and the peachy salmon orange. So most of them didn't work out for me, but I did find a different backing fabric. This peach is too bright for what I'm doing on the front, but as a back piece, it's perfect. And, oh, and before I forget, I did something slightly different this time than I originally stated in how I did things on the January videos. I made my batting and backing fabric. I keep calling it background. It's backing fabric. I made them slightly bigger than my template. And then when I've got the stitching of the pieces down, I'm going to put the template and cut it, then trim it. And the reason I made these slightly bigger than before is because what I found with especially my February one, when you stitch, things shrink. And at the top edges of where the backing fabric was on my February piece, it was too short for, like, it didn't come right up to the edge, so I prefer to have it go right up to the edge, not because of prettiness per se, but just giving it more of a permanent structure. I had to go back in, or I felt I had to go back in and do some extra stitching just to make sure it didn't ravel further and that kind of thing. So just letting you know that I've slightly changed the directions, so just make it slightly bigger. You can see it coming out here. That's more bigger than I mean you to do. Like, most of it's 1/8 of an inch bigger, 1/4 inch max. Okay. And I'll trim it down later. Okay, so I found that fabric in the bucket, and I also found this lovely and this, and I'm thrilled with this. I had forgotten I had it. I've mentioned in some kind of video at some point, I forget when, that I love matchy-matchy. I'm a sucker for matchy-matchy. but not buying a line of fabric and getting it matchy-matchy per se, though those tend to have the matchy-matchies. But I love when there's a fabric that has exactly the same color, so you know it came from a line or a season, and then they're different prints. So I found this tiny print that matches um, the inspiration fabric, and I'm thinking, cut myself a small piece, is to do something like this down the center, so they're beside each other and they show their matchiness, but embellished, of course, some other way. But yeah, that's my early thought. And with this one, I'm going to put, like I did some of the others, cover this edge with it, with, you know, a 1/2 inch folded over, sort of like this one, but this is going to be bigger than a 1/2 inch because it's going to be the width of that stripe. Okay, and what else did I have thoughts of? Oh yes, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do something with this lace and this very thin, it's not cording, I don't really know what that's called. If somebody does, please put it in the comments. And do the two of them here, so stay tuned for what I'm thinking to do with that. And then I do think I am going to find a place to put this trim somewhere, though that again isn't in stone. And what else? Oh yes, I have this beautiful ribbon, and in my matchiness, it doesn't quite go because of that yellow. But what I'm thinking of doing is putting it down along the bottom with the yellow tucked under, like tucked, so just the top of the ribbon. There, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that pretty? And where'd that other piece go? I have another trim. No, it's disappeared. Weird. Oh, no, here it is. Here's another trim I love. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it across here. And then with one of these, I haven't decided yet if it's going to go the darker or the lighter. I'm actually going to cut it off about there, so just the dotty part, and put it under this as it goes across the top. Like, let's see if I can get this to go. We'll put that first, and then that. So something like that. That's my early thoughts. All right, thanks for watching. That's it for the background episode of week 1. I will be back next week with further progress, and thanks for watching.